just said he has a good memory.
I do.
What is the name of the last 4 guys you've slept with?
Now, I can't remember. I never knew any of their names.
Hello, this is Captain Poodle speaking. Are you ready to find love?
Yes, ahoy, matey.
Love. Exciting and new. Go online. They're catfishing you.
Shocker.
Fiancé.
Soon you'll be flying to parts unknown.
90-day Beyonce.
Marrying someone you've only met on your phone.
Be they French or Chinese, a brand new K1 visa's the key.
Ooh, the key to what, Poodle?
To love.
It's reality gaze.
Let's love.
That's fair. That's true.
But you know what? I could tell you exactly what all 4 of their dicks looked like.
Y'all, welcome to Reality Gaze.
Welcome to Reality Gaze. This is their second episode with their new name.
Reality Gaze.
Reality Gaze.
We like it. It
rolls
feels
off
nice.
the tongue.
It
Feels
does.
good in my mouth.
This does feel nice. I didn't want to say my mouth, but sure.
I haven't had sex in a while. That's
It's
why it
been a
sounds
lot.
like that.
Y'all, again.
We're dealing with COVID. Like, y'all, we're dealing with a COVID palooza here in Los Angeles.
Very bad
pray
in
for
Los
us.
Angeles.
I couldn't even be on Grindr right now because I just look at everyone and think I was going to get COVID from them.
I'm not. Yeah, we're not even going to the grocery stores.
Yeah.
We're ordering. You're not going, are you? You better be.
No, I'm not.
Instacarting.
I'm Instacarting.
Yeah, we've got to do all
So, y'all, if you have a quick moment, pray for all of our hospitals and our ambulance drivers and all of our first responders in LA. We're having a really hard time.
We're having a really hard time.
They're having to kind of ration care like right now.
Yeah,
Today was the first day.
Yeah, if they pick you up in an ambulance and you're close to death, they're not going to take you to the hospital.
So think about that. Think about that. Hope you had fun on New Year's Eve.
Okay, maybe let's not do that. Because some people are trying. A lot of people are trying. Anyway, so let's see. What else do we... Oh, we want to thank... Obviously, y'all voted on the name, and Reality Gaze was the winner, actually. Yep. So y'all chose that name as well. It is the name Poodle and I liked. And then... So Eliza is the winner of that, but also...
Eliza Gilliam.
Kyle.
Kyle Swerdlow.
Kyle Swerdlow. We decided, in looking at this, and Jackie actually pointed out... Eliza was first with Reality Gaze. However, Kyle was the first with The Reality
Gaze, which is not the name we went with, but it's so close.
It's so close.
We wanted to give him the same prize.
And people are already, some of the people are already calling it The Reality Gaze.
So he gets the same prize. So we actually had 2 winners. Will pay, even though I didn't want to. This motherfucker made me.
I told him we had
made
to.
me. We had to.
So we're paying for both of their airfare to fly to a show of their choice.
I put on my
in the United States.
green accountant's hat and go and click at a calculator on the screen.
We also they each.
I guess I won't eat that week.
They each get 2 VIP tickets as well to the show.
Yes, but airfare for only one. That's what we agreed on.
Yes. I'm trying to get Poodle to pay for a hotel, but he won't do it.
Never. You know what you can do?
Depends on where they go. If they go to a live show in L.A., we can't pay for your hotel. Or New York City,
there are lovely hostels available for you.
If we do a show in like...
you can stay in a room with 25 other people.
When we do a show in Branson, the rooms are cheap. We'll
Days
pay $50. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to go there.
Because if they get killed, you don't want it to be our fault.
No,
we pick the room.
I don't want to. I don't be responsible for giving anyone bed bugs in a shitty motel we pay for.
That's fair. You know what? Book your own room. Anyway,
that's what I don't want to involve myself in people's lives more than I have to.
Eliza and
no first class. You're going coach. Don't even think about it.
God. Eliza and Kyle, thank you, y'all. Thanks for your response. We're excited. Here's to. Moving on, you shouldn't have to change anything. If you're listening to this right now, You found it. The Patreon should be the same too. Your link, your RSS link, everything as of now is the same. If this changes, we will message you.
And if
patrons.
you're following us, if you're following us, all of a sudden I'm telling my father. If you're following us on social media, that shouldn't change either. You should still be following us.
And just so you know, if you want to follow us, it's our website is Reality Gaze Podcast. Our Instagram is Reality Gaze Podcast. Our Twitter is Reality Gaze Pod.
Because Twitter doesn't let us do the longer titles.
You can do the Sissy Squad, or you can do our private Facebook, or not our public Facebook group, which is Reality Gaze Podcast.
So all that is available for you.
All of that.
We are reality and we are gay.
You know what? That's true. That's very, very true. All right. Are
there any other announcements?
Oh, God, I hope
I don't know. Y'all, this rebrand is about killed us.
It's been a lot of work and time. And again,
fuck you, Discovery.
We want to thank a lot of people that came together and helped us. And we just could not have done it without Jackie, definitely.
Our lawyers, our therapists.
Yes.
Yeah.
Our acupuncturists.
Yes.
Everything.
All of us.
It was a lot. So,
all of us.
Anyway.
And thank you to everybody who voted and everyone who submitted.
Exactly.
We would not have this name without you guys.
Yeah. So there you go.
And and if you hate the name, it's like an election.
It's like Poodle.
Yeah. Remember 2016? A lot of us didn't like that.
Got to vote. But also, too, if you don't like it, Poodle doesn't like the name of your kid. You don't like the name of our show. So what? Everybody's friends. Let's move on.
I don't like Porter. I don't like your son Porter's name.
I don't mind that name.
It's all basic. Come at me with your child named Porter. I'm sure you
like
love
that
him.
Name. Oh, fine.
I have a nephew named Porter.
You do?
Yes.
Did you tell your aunt that you don't like the child's name?
Not to her face. This is the same aunt, however. This is the same. She's actually my second cousin. The Porter's my second cousin. This is the same aunt who we were over at her house for Christmas, and she started vacuuming.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mother Poodle still hasn't forgotten that.
Talks about it every Christmas. Yeah. I remember thinking, even as a child, that was a little bit untoward.
What did your mother do when she started vacuuming while y'all were there?
No, we heard the sound, and we all kind of was like, what's going on? And we walk in there, and
something?
Aunt Joan is vacuuming. No, she wanted us to get the fuck out of her house.
Wow.
That's what you do when you want someone to get the fuck out of your house.
No, it is. It's pretty clear. I was just making sure she didn't spill something on the floor and just clean it up.
No. This was a clear sign.
Wow.
This was a clear sign.
Wow.
She had all this new white carpet put in.
Boy, they really could make Hillbilly Elegy 2 with your family, couldn't they?
But it's all weird, passive-aggressive shit. We heard the vacuum. We're like, what is that? And one of my aunts went, well, Joan, what are you doing? And she's like, I'm just, just cleaning up a little bit. And we're like, okay, I guess that's a signal.
Boy, I bet your mother talked about that for 6 months.
Say 15 years. My mother loves a good family meltdown. Especially when it's due to my father's family.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Hers she won't talk about.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Because she's trying to make make his family small. That's their game. I know.
And how many years have they been married?
Over 50. I think I've told this before, but my mother and I were once watching the show on Oxygen called Snapped, which is one of her favorite shows. She has it. In fact, I showed her how to record it. She didn't know how to DVR on her Dish network.
Oh, okay.
She watches Snapped whenever she's tired, or whenever when my father's not watching, some god awful Western thing that he's decided, which is a new quirk he's developed. And my mother's like, oh, these women, why do they do this? And I go, what do you mean?
Because it is terrible how that portrays women as they
they're
snap
all,
and go crazy. It's horrible.
And she's like, well, first of all, she She left the boat. She murdered him, and she just jumped overboard. She should have set fire to the boat. No one would know. And she looks at me. She's like, if I had to kill your father, no one would ever know. And I was like, backed away. She's like, no one would ever find out. She's like, I'd think it out. I'd plan it for a year if I needed to.
Wow.
So I'm completely expecting. Wow. I'm completely expecting my father to go missing, and my mother to say it's really a tragedy. You know. Anyway, should we talk about the show?
Yeah, let's talk about the show.
This is part 2, you guys. We're going to start off. We got four couples to talk about. Let's talk about Mike and Natalie.
They feed fish in the water. Love fish noise.
And is this near their house? I was confused.
I think it is.
Is this a koi pond?
I think he has a pond.
Yeah,
a pond.
A koi pond.
A pond near his house.
Now, I will say, I grew up with having to feed fish and trout and things like that.
My grandpa had fish.
Every time I bring up something from you talk about your grandfather.
Well, he had it.
I agree. But did you grow up like feeding them and catching them and things like that?
We didn't catch fish in his. He only like a little one, a little small one. But we would go fishing with him all the time.
Yeah,
either at a pond or he eventually got a boat and we went fishing on the lake. But then I was wanting to see what was under the cushions while the boat was going. And because I don't know, the cushions come up, and I pushed the cushion up, and his boat license, which was hidden under the cushion, flew up out and then landed on top of the water. And it took him an hour to go find his boat license, and he never took me boating again.
That's not as sad of a story as it is you just would not do what you were told.
I didn't sit still a lot.
Yeah, I'd had a problem with that too. My mother would say, Jacob, please sit still.
It's so well.
Anyway, before I was waylaid, I was telling a story that you can actually. Natalie said you can kill fish with sound. That's kind of true. You can deafen them, but you'd almost kind of stun them. That's what people would do. They would throw dynamite into lakes and ponds sometimes. It more stunned the fish than anything else. It necessarily wouldn't kill them,
but they'd stun and rise to the top.
Yeah,
and then they would just
we never did that.
Gather them up and eat them.
But I will say that little bit of a firework that he was throwing would not have done that.
No,
you would have needed more. Now she had probably read that somewhere.
I mean, my grandpa, every time I went fishing, Matt, stop talking. You're going to scare the fish. Well, Grandpa, I want to tell you a story about I was at T-ball. And Matt, I don't want to hear. Be quiet.
They don't like it when you lisp either.
It's true. Mm-hmm. I remember him coming home, and my mom said, well, Daddy, how was the fishing?
Fish don't speak, faggot.
It's true. She said, Daddy, how was the fishing? And he said, didn't catch a goddamn thing because he talked the whole time.
Memories.
He did keep taking me fishing, though.
That's nice.
Yeah. He'd have me sit up he'd go by the water, and he'd have me sit up by the truck.
Okay.
And I'd just sit on the truck bed and swing my feet and sing songs.
I got it. I've been working on the railroad. Shut up.
Yeah, that's true. Daddy's hands were soft when I was crying.
And other late 80s and early 90s country. So, basically, she's like, I don't know why he's shooting off a Roman candle. It is some country shit. I guess he just enjoys it.
This episode,
for them,
Mike is odd. We always knew he was odd, but I think we're seeing how odd he is.
I think he is definitely odd.
This is when someone lives
by themselves,
so isolated,
way out
by
there.
themselves, not around people.
We found out in this episode, you guys, he gets up at 3 a.m. to drive in to Seattle. So he commutes an average of at least 5 hours a day, possibly 6. What do you think Mike does on those 6-hour commutes?
We going honky tonkin' down the Louisiana, going honky.
I mean, honestly, I don't think he's learning Mandarin.
No,
what does he do?
I enjoy sometimes driving. It bothers Poodle, but I enjoy driving in quiet. Sometimes.
No, not quiet. Complete and utter silence.
But I enjoy doing that for like 15 to 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Maybe to have a little quiet time.
Yeah.
But then I need to listen to a podcast or music. I bet Mike is silent the whole time. Just having a conversation with
something
himself.
in the asylum.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It is kind of I don't know. And basically later on we found out that he's like, we can't, I think Natalie even said that we can't live in Seattle because it's too expensive. And I'm sure it is expensive, but is there any bedroom community that you can live in? But maybe his family owned that place. He owned that place. And I don't know. It seems like not a place you want to raise a family in. And I know Natalie doesn't want to live there. Deep in the wood.
And, she says, she says something like, this crazy, it's not realistic. It is a little bit of what type of life. I guess he likes his life, but your weekdays are just gone. You're just working and driving.
6 hours a day.
But although he does get off at 2:30.
Yeah, because he gets home, so that means he gets home at 5:30. So he gets there at 6, works until 2:30. So, and he gets off at 5:30, or gets home at 5:30. So he does have from 5:30 until maybe 5 hours later when he goes to bed. Or maybe he goes to bed at 10. So he gets maybe 4 hours with her a day. It's shitty.
That sounds horrible. And guess what? A lot of people, especially in the United States, that's their work schedule. Yeah. That's their life.
I'd kind of be okay with it. I'm great with the person I'm dating is in like the other coast.
Yeah.
And they come back every other week. Kind of love that.
Just to refill your bank account?
Didn't say that, but that's a perk. Yeah.
But for someone who just moved to this country and doesn't know anyone, that's not really acceptable.
It's brutal. And I
have a lot of sympathy for her this episode.
And she has such cabin fever, I'm sure. She doesn't know what to do. She's cleaning obsessively because what else is there to do? She's trying to put bleach in washer, which she thinks it's softener.
Somebody said, doesn't bleach have a pretty universal smell?
It is fair. I feel like that was production instigated. They say, why don't you use the thing up there that says, that?
The thing is, and I think this is a perfect example of what Mike, you said in the end of last episode when we were talking about that, you said something basically like, Mike doesn't know how to act around her. What did you say? You said something you don't remember, do you?
No.
You were 2 vodkas in by that time.
I wouldn't have said that. I said he doesn't know. I don't think they know how to behave around one another because he was vacation Mike when he was in the Ukraine.
And she said that, yeah.
And I think she knows that, and this is reality Mike, and I don't think she knows how to put up with that, or I don't think many of us will be able to put up with that.
And because Natalie even says, I'm starting to learn things about Mike, and I don't know what to think. That's what she says. Because with the fireworks thing, I think what Mike does, I can't get my cord out of the way.
Yeah, it's obnoxious.
Mike never, he doesn't, I don't feel like really explains himself.
No.
He's just kind of makes that face he always makes.
He has
fireworks, not going to hurt the fish.
He has almost zero emotional intelligence. He just doesn't have it. Now,
and he doesn't see. I don't necessarily think he's that dumb. I think he's lazy. I don't think he wants to take the effort to extend himself to her a little bit. It's not gaslighting, but I do think that he is. I do think that he is not making an effort to explain his worldview and why he thinks these things. He's just kind of like, and I don't think it's about Natalie. I think this is the way Mike is. Mike, if you had a political conversation with him, he'd be like, well, I'm going to vote for the aliens. Well, Mike, I don't think the aliens are actually running for president. Well, I believe in aliens. You know what I mean? Like, that's the way he explains things.
I want to push back on the fact that I think I do agree with the fact that you say he's not emotionally prepared to talk to Natalie about what he feels, but he's read some kind of self-help book like what to do with your Ukrainian fiancé when she arrives at your doorstep.
Somebody should write that book.
But he keeps asking how she feels. What are you thinking right now? And she can't say it because she's still in the middle of processing you guys. Yeah. And this is a problem in itself.
Yeah.
That
it is like he read a book. He doesn't necessarily practice it.
Yeah.
But he does tell her, well, use your words, explain to me. But this is it. This is what it kind of unlocked for me right now. And I agree with you, where he doesn't have the emotional intelligence, because this is a complex thing to do. He doesn't know how to explain himself from Natalie's eyes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have to be able to say, okay, this is where Natalie is coming from. I need to explain to her how I feel. How do I explain this to her so she could understand this? He's just like, well, always ate meat. I love meat. Make my face.
I don't know if he's ever given a second thought to his own emotions. That's the thing. He's read this book or whatever, or he's gone online and he's figured out, or someone from production has said, you got to ask her how she's feeling or something.
Yeah.
But I just think he's such a loner guy who probably has no female friends.
I don't think he talks to people a lot, period.
Except for Bojangles.
Yeah.
And we know how Bojangles talk. Tell me your feelings.
If he even says that.
Yeah. And I will say, the next day, we kind of get a lot of stuff about Natalie, and she's doing the laundry, she's cleaning, and she is trying to take pics of Aria the cat. And at one point she goes, she bites at me. I hate you.
I hate you.
You know what? A cat's going to bite you, Natalie. They all do.
That means they like you.
I know.
Half the time.
You're
lucky that cat sat on your lap.
I know. You're lucky she's not trying to steal your breath when you're asleep. So
she calls her friends, and this is where she kind of she basically talks to her friends about
Sveta.
Sveta is worried, kind of as Sveta says, her adaptation process. And it really is that, and that's kind of where you see that, you know, Natalie says, like, she's still upset about the fish. Like, fish can die from sound, but he doesn't listen to me. He ignores me. I agree with her. I don't think he is ignoring her, but because he always does this, like, well, that's just the way it is. He says that kind of shit all the time. And it's because he doesn't. I do think there's a laziness of he doesn't want to take the effort to explain himself more. So he just kind of says, huh? And he's going to go sit on the couch and put his hand in his pants and watch TV.
Agreed. And I think I still say these people are mismatched because Natalie is quirky at best, and at worst, she's stark raving loony. I don't know. Sometimes I see her as fun and interesting.
Yeah.
But this whole, like, immediate processing thing, y'all, where you just see, like, her eyes just flip around her sockets, like, kind of freaks me out.
Well, this is actually, we mentioned this, but we have had so many sissies come at us, female sissies, and some, like, highly educated, and talk to us. Like, did you read the Instagram message you had?
Yes.
Somebody who works with people with eating disorders, and she was like, she has it's classic
disordered eating.
Kind of disordered eating. So I think that there's, which makes me sad. It makes me sad that she's with,
because I think I said food issues, but everyone has been saying
we just thought food issues, but people have come at us and been like, No, this is
even her
pretty.
personality, all of her personality is saying
I
this.
once is he emailed me who overcame a decision where I was like, I got triggered as fuck watching her.
Yeah, the twist that she makes, as soon as she eats something, you guys. Yeah.
It's
Something's going on.
It's unfortunate that there's just, and again, we talked about a little bit kind of like the codependency of her and her mother.
Mm-hmm.
I think there is, like you mentioned before, we still don't know why she broke up with her first husband.
Nope.
I think
it was really glossed over and almost nothing was said.
I think she has like big time shit went down in her life and trauma, and this anxiety is just she needs to feel safe.
Yeah.
And she
Control.
feels, and it's so interesting.
Eating disorders are the ultimate control.
Yes, and that in the middle, you would think, for some people, they think this would be relaxing. But when you're coming from the city, like, this would make, I don't think I could relax there.
No.
I would need because what happens when you're just sitting in the fucking country with no one to talk to? Guess what? You start thinking about your feelings.
All
the bad stuff. And this shit is just like bubbling out.
Yeah.
So I feel for her.
Yeah, I mean,
she's still one oblique away from lunacy. Don't get me wrong.
This is the worst place she could be, unfortunately.
It really is.
Yeah.
Mike's got to do, and I get why. I don't think Mike intentionally means to do it, but I get why some people feel like Mike is. I don't think he's gaslighting her. I don't think he's, in my opinion, I don't think he's doing anything to be mean to her.
No.
I do wonder sometimes if
I don't think he has a lot to give her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't, because I was talking to you last night. This was after the show. Believe it or not, we were still talking about the show when we finished the podcast. But I was like, is he trying to get her to break up with him? Like, is he trying to be, the bad guy? Because he can't take responsibility to say, I don't want to be with you.
I think the way he responds to conflict and the way he problem solves is talks himself down from things and tries to become emotionless. It's the opposite of how she does with things.
Yes.
And that way they're never going to have any kind of conflict resolution because they're speaking such different resolution languages. So I don't know. I let's talk about when they go to the falls. Snoqualmie Falls.
That's what I said. I said it's when my home in the falls. I couldn't remember it.
So she's very excited. They go to dinner at this restaurant. They're going to stay in a hotel. And, like, I looked around. I'm like, this looks very expensive. That was my thought. And,
well,
not to say that.
He had debt.
Yeah. He's a spender now. He's
racking up that credit card again.
Yeah. So maybe that's had something. So anyway, of course.
But she also wants that.
Yeah. I think he thinks that's what she needs to make her feel romantic.
And I actually don't think that is. I think that she just needs attention.
Oh, yeah.
Probably more than normal people need.
I think that's her love language, is that kind of thing, doing nice things for her.
I actually think that there's a little bit of she wants to be put on, she wants to be worshipped a little bit.
Little princess.
A little bit, yeah.
So anyway, the waiter comes in. One of our poor put upon waiters in the 90-Day universe says, "Can I give you a little wine or anything?" And of course, as soon as she says wine, Natalie goes, "Wine,
wine.
No one should drink. It's all.
I drink tea. I drink tea.
Do you have hot tea?
Hot tea.
Because that will not destroy my body like your body will with alcohol."
And then Mike's like, I have the beer. Wait, was this beer or was this wine?
This was wine at the restaurant.
This episode was so long. There was so much of them.
Y'all, all these 2-hour episodes feel like they're 4 hours to me.
They are.
I can't handle long episodes. So they're asking, she says, they're asking what they want to. Before she said that, she said, "We have different views in life. No alcohol. I don't drink very much alcohol because it's not healthy."
I do want to say, I meant to say this too. She doesn't say it's not healthy. She does say on the phone with her friend, I know I've been with him for 2 years, but I just don't trust him yet. And I'm like,
Yeah.
if you've been with somebody for 2 years and you don't trust them,
I'm wondering what
I think that's good.
what aspects of Mike that she doesn't
Because I don't think Mike trusts her either.
Yeah.
We see that.
I wonder what trust is to her. Like, is it complete transparency? Does she think he's hiding things from her?
I think trust is a little bit of, because actually we talk about Mike's emotional intelligence. Another reason why I think Natalie has trauma is because her emotional maturity is not advanced. I honestly feel like trust is when Mike agrees with her.
Oh,
Don't you? Because that's her whole thing is that,
that she can
even
somehow,
more than validation. It's almost like she wants him to.
Trust is somehow kind of coming over to her worldview of how she eats, how they should live.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
because here's the deal. Like we talk about this later, y'all. They're going to do if Mike does this eating challenge thing.
Which
and
is
then he goes back
a week on, a week off.
And he goes back to eating meat and doesn't do it again, she's going to get pissed.
Yeah. We had a lot of people come at us about, and Natalie, people were saying, is Natalie a vegan? Is she a pescatarian?
I'm confused. She's eating eggs. She's eating fish.
I had a friend, I'm not going to mention her, but she said, Natalie is what we call an uglytarian.
What's an ugly?
She only eats food that she thinks that is ugly, but like cows and like cute things she won't eat.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah.
But she'll eat a fish because she thinks fish are ugly?
Or they don't feel things.
Okay.
But I'm just thinking that's what she said, but that's an interesting idea.
That is an interesting idea.
But people don't eat cows because they're sweet, or ducks because they're cute. Or even some chickens.
Chickens are horrible.
But she will eat scallops, as we saw,
mm-hmm.
Which did have parents. And you can be a pescatarian. I'm not judging you. You can do anything you want, you guys. I don't.
But she is judging Mike for eating meat.
She's judging him for eating meat.
That made no sense. We'll get to that, but it made no sense because he's eating meat and she's judging him, and she gets scallops.
And she said, someone's lives were taken.
You're
for
about
you to
eat
that.
scallops. It made no sense.
It is y'all. We live in Los Angeles, the mecca of veganism and of everything, and even people here know not to say meat is murder.
Although,
when you're eating.
I know some people that are vegan that will say, I don't eat that because I think it's murder. But guess what? They don't eat any animals or any byproducts.
They walk the walk.
They walk the walk. One of my good friends who used to do AfterBuzz, Ali Kona, is a vegan, and she walks the walk. And so I super respect
and there's social,
that.
and I've vegan friends, and their social media accounts are completely dedicated to not using any animal products.
Cody Kersley from Riverdale,
and
who is hot.
I respect that. I respect that kind of veganism.
It's made me think differently about it. Cody will post things, and I'll go, huh.
Oh, yeah.
And some of it even is meant to be inciting you to kind of to hit you in the gut and think. But they don't eat scallops.
But the worst thing to do is to bully you as you're about to dig into a steak.
When you're eating meat.
It's not going to help. Yeah.
I'm still going back to that.
Well, technically, scallops aren't, dietarily, scallops aren't technically meat. They are seafood. But I know what you're saying. Yeah.
I mean,
it still had parents.
If she's going to say that, she needs to have a plate of fucking kale with a lemon vinaigrette on it.
I will say a sissy came at us and says, I just want you to know that veganism, the privilege in veganism is so strong in our sissy squad. Because people who...
That is a thing, yeah.
Veganism is oftentimes much more expensive. And people will often say, well, I can eat rice and beans and blah, blah, blah. That's not necessarily veganism. It's not necessarily going to be as healthy.
Well, also people that... It is sad that people, even vegetarian people in lower socioeconomic status can't afford that.
Yeah.
They can't
like
do that.
WIC, you
or
know,
they
like
don't have access
WIC
to food.
benefits. Yeah, there are food deserts,
Yeah.
you guys, that aren't going to be able to provide for veganism.
You know what
so
I think
it is quite a
interesting?
privilege.
Not right now because of COVID, but, I lived in one part of Los Angeles with this whore.
Yeah.
And it was a nicer part of, like, our grocery store was in, like, one of the nicer parts
Yeah.
of Los Angeles. And then I moved to an area that was still being gentrified, predominantly African-American black community. I went to the Ralph's there when I'd been to the Ralph's that was by us that we would
Yeah.
go to. And I was within 2.5 miles of each other. It was such a white privilege moment of seeing, oh, fuck. The difference of what is offered in
I
this
can't get my escarole.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
the fact that the organic section
Yeah.
at our old grocery store was 3 aisles.
Yeah.
And here it was not even a half of one aisle.
Yeah.
And it really made me think, like, and I still don't know that what causes it. Why is it that way? Is it chicken or? But some people could say, well, it's because some people might say, well, those communities don't want healthy food. No, I think if we offer
Racism.
yeah, that's
Redlining.
it. Yeah,
That's what it is.
That's what I think it is too.
Yeah.
So y'all, when COVID is over, drive to another when you feel like it when it's safe. Drive to a grocery store of the same company that's out of your neighborhood and see the
that may
difference.
not be the same socioeconomic
And you might
class as
realize
your
that
neighborhood.
how lucky you are to be able to be a vegan where you live. And it's not to shame you for where you live.
Not at all. Not at all.
That's great. You can be but maybe it'll inspire you to help.
Yeah. And I want to say, when I have friends who are vegans, and when I go to dinner with them, and in the old days when we would go out to dinner, and when we would go to a vegan place or a place that kind of is vegan, and you're like, oh yeah, I love vegan food. What a privilege that is.
It is.
Yeah, because it's usually more expensive.
Oh, yeah, I spend way more. Now, there are some good restaurants here in L.A. I've heard that vegan cum is sweeter. Is that true? I feel like you would know. I've heard that people that eat meat, it sours a little.
I dated a vegan chef for a while.
Y'all, this is Reality Gaze. We're talking about semen.
And I never drank his semen.
Shocker, because I know that you often drink from the cup.
Now, I was quite a receptacle in other places.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
I can't speak to the taste.
Oh, I thought you called it the Holy Grail. You're like Indiana Jones. Gotta save my father. That made no sense.
Nope.
Hey, friend, can you go drink that? Semen save me.
We just disgusted everyone. So definitely Mike is a meat eater, and he even says, he's like, well, we'll try it. We'll try 1 week on, 1 week off.
Again, the way he says it is so,
sure, it's very dismissive.
I'm easy breezy, sure, not a big deal. And y'all, this is
he's
where...
going to get Wendy's every night when he's coming home.
I told you, I said he's going to drive, he'll fucking eat what he wants
Go to
when
Burger
he goes to work.
King.
Yeah. And
totally.
that is a bit of...
It sucks.
That's the undercurrent that I think, I just had a light bulb moment. Do you think that Mike thinks Natalie is dumb because she doesn't know English isn't her first language and she's not an American? So therefore he's more intelligent than she is and can get away with shit.
Possibly. Yeah.
I think so too. I think that he feels like he's always like pulling because it's fast on her when Natalie energetically consents that he's not there.
I think she knows he thinks she's naive. I think.
I think he thinks she's naive.
Yeah.
And I don't
more
think
than
she
dumb.
is.
I think he thinks she's really naive.
That's a better. Don't throw your phone down.
It was
on the
making noise. It's fine.
This is why all your technology is torn
I have a
up.
rug. So you guys, the next day, they're at the fall. She's so happy. He picks her up. They're having good times.
Yes.
It's when they are discovering new things, you guys. Natalie turns into like an excited child. She's at her most lovable.
It is a very lovable and excitable.
There's no anxiety. There's no
she forgets about the kind of anxieties
there's
of the world.
no that kind of darkness and that weird broodiness that she's.
So see,
because I'm broody as fuck, y'all. I'm not the best boyfriend.
So see, well, you know what? You're fair.
I'm fair.
Unless you're unless they do something to put spite in. Yeah, then watch out. But it's on the other side, like there is this childness to her. Like, do you think Natalie would she ever do the bills in the household? She doesn't seem like she could.
No, I think she could do that.
Not that she couldn't. It seems like that would stress her out.
She needs to be protected.
Yeah, there's a protection, not an
That's what she's looking for.
That's what she's looking for.
Yeah.
She wants to feel safe.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I
think that's all she wants.
That's what most of us all want.
I don't think you can give that to her. Yeah.
Well, y'all, no one can give you your safety. Only you can give yourself that. It's like happiness. And
but
she's not allowed to.
You know what kind of says safety to me?
Oh, Jesus.
Brisket nachos.
That's fair. Y'all.
That Mike orders.
If you've never had brisket nachos.
Oh, my God.
You're missing out.
And, of course, she's like not having it.
Now, this was the day after Mike promised, and she said, "What? Brisket? What's brisket?" And he says, "It's meat." And she said, "No meat. No. You said a week." And he's like, "No, I meant next week." And I went, "This is gaslighting."
It is.
We just saw the scene, and you were so Major Mike face of,
this he could have, in good
shitty.
faith, he could have gotten something that was non-meat or even pescatarian in good faith.
This a little bit.
This was shitty. I agree.
This is him. This is when I first thought, does he not want to be with her? Is he trying to be a dick so she'll break up with him and leave?
In some ways, I think he was needling her because
I think it was aggressive. Yeah.
In a way, I think he thinks in a really weird way that she needs that to keep the drama going.
Because again, like I agree with that. Because again, like Natalie said, in the bedroom, they don't have any problem.
Right.
It's like Jovi and Yara. The sex is amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So when she gets the black bean burger, you guys, she eats it and she's like, "Oh, this tastes good. Are you sure it's not meat?" That's true. That's very much disordered eating, you guys. When they're constantly asking. Later on, they get a root beer dessert.
Oh God, are we still on them? Oh yeah.
She basically says, "No, I'm not drinking. This is beer. This is beer. It tastes like beer to me."
But because needles
it's
her,
unhealthy.
She doesn't trust him.
Yeah. And that's why I can see why people would think this is gaslighting.
Well, because she also says, "What about the wedding? We need to talk about the wedding, you guys."
This is not the time.
This is quite unfair to her. You moved her out of here. She's living in butt fucking Egypt.
Yeah.
And now you're saying, I don't know if I want to get married or not. So she's thinking, I moved out here and I'm just going to have to go back.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I get it. I think the last thing he wants to talk about is getting married right now.
I just think Mike never wants to talk about anything adult.
I agree. I just think they could not have two more disparate ways of communicating.
Yeah. They're horrible for one another.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Should we take a break?
Please, can we move on to something happier? Jesus.
We are at 40. Like, here, we should take a break.
You guys, Reality Gaze.
We'll be back in just a second. And we're back with Stephanie from Grand Rapids.
I just want to tell you, cousin, that I'm not going to give them the money to decrease their manhood. I'm going to give them money to make them feel better behind their back.
This is a really short segment, which enraged me because I need more Stephanie from Grand Rapids.
This was, y'all, I'll be honest. I do like the
She's
season.
my favorite person so far.
Well, I do like the season. I do like these couples, but this was a heavy episode. This episode felt like 5 hours.
I think the entire season is really heavy. From what they've given us.
It's entertaining, but
I don't even know if it's that. Now,
I like a lot of
Stephanie
the
from Grand Rapids, very entertaining.
Stephanie's at one of her medical spas. Y'all remember they do weight loss injections and aging injections.
Skin
She's there with their cousin.
She's there. Her cousin Ryan and Shannon.
Oh my gosh, Siri was listening and just brought up med spas on my watch. That's weird.
You got to go to Skin Envy.
Got to go to Skin Envy. So like Stephanie can't stand Face House.
Face House.
Oh, I love Face House. You go, it's like instead of being a frou-frou spa,
Okay.
it's like when you get your hair cut, there's chairs. So like you're getting a facial, not the kind of facials you're used to.
Okay.
But you're getting a facial and somebody's sitting right beside you. Again, not like the facials you're used to. But
I'm
it's like in
not familiar.
not familiar. You're in barber's chairs, basically.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So wait, no one's getting fucked?
No. I liked it.
I'm not familiar.
Not familiar. So Ryan and Shannon are there. We couldn't tell. We don't know if they're her cousins, if they're a couple. It doesn't matter. But
I
two of her
could
cousins.
not tell if they were a couple, which, more power to you.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Or maybe they are her cousins.
Well, I wanted to know because one of them really went in on her, and I thought this would be super interesting to me if you're not the cousin by blood, but the cousin by marriage going in on her.
Yeah.
Anyway, but she helped Shannon lose a lot of weight. So, and now Shannon's having a baby. So Ryan is there to lose weight. Blah, blah, blah. Who fucking cares? It's an advertisement.
Ryan, who is not her fiance, also the name of Ryan. Ryan's name is Ryanne.
Yes.
So we've got her cousin Ryan, who is female, presumably, and her fiance
Okay.
Ryan. Ryan from Ladyville, Belize.
Ryan Ryan. So, okay.
My 27-year-old fiance from Ladyville, Belize.
Now, she tells him, she's like, look, cousins, I'm pretty sure that he's going to ask me to marry him because...
Don't get too New Yorkie in your accent.
And because...
Needs to be more Midwestern.
He knows I want to wear my mother's ring, and I'm bringing the ring.
Yeah. And they're like... Go. So she's like, does it make you mad because he's crazy? He's 20 years younger. Is that what it is? And from a different country?
Does it make it crazy?
Yeah. And,
Yes.
and Pam, the assistant, who's like, I've known her for so many years and I've never really seen her be this into a guy. So we're all a little concerned.
But Ryan, her cousin, not Ryan.
Ryan, her fiance from Ladyville, Belize.
Her cousin Ryan is like, yes, that does make you sound crazy.
That makes us concerned. Yeah. Now, we have another piece of the puzzle here. Turns out, she says, I'm paying for the essentials and I'm helping the parents since coronavirus for $500 or $1,300 a month. So he's paying their rent.
That's a big jump.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money, but it's also a big jump.
Yeah. A big range.
Big range, yes.
I agree.
Yes.
Y'all, this is a huge red flag. Anytime you are completely financially responsible for someone,
now we know why mom talks to her.
There is no equal playing field.
There's not.
Unfortunately, and you kind of need those for a relationship. Unfortunately, it's almost impossible to completely subsidize financially someone you're in a relationship with. You have to really, really talk with them.
Yeah, because I've been in a relationship where the other was financially helping the other one, and the relationship didn't get better until we both were financially responsible and both financially able to contribute. Yeah. It does make a difference.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm not saying I would not want a man to pay for everything I had. That's what
this is what, again, we would be doing this in a studio right now. But are we recording, by the way? We are.
I will say that was one of the reasons
it's hot in here.
That dating wealthier men was a problem for me. Even in my 20s when
here's the deal with Poodle.
If I could kill them, it would be fine.
Poodle wants to be bought, but he can't be bought.
I can't be bought.
Boy,
That's
that is a conundrum.
You have just read me for filth, and I'm not really happy about it.
That is why. Oh God, what's happening? My sweater's caught my cord. That's why I'm dealing with this shit right now instead of an air-conditioned studio on Vine Boulevard.
Well, I think it's Vine Street. Well, it's COVID anyway, so we'd be here anyway, bitch.
No, we'd rent out a private, and we would be. If you had a rich husband, we'd have it cleaned.
I guess
they'd all be wearing masks.
If I had a rich husband, he'd be dead in a year.
If I had a rich husband, he'd be dead.
Y'all, mark my words. Actually, we're going to take all these podcasts down if I marry a rich husband. Because they'll know what I'm going to do.
Y'all, if the podcast suddenly goes away,
it's because I married well.
Check the New York Times because Poodle's going to have a wedding announcement.
Jake Anthony, 40, married Chester Tomlinson IV, 85.
85.
They're both excited to spend the rest of their lives together.
Exactly.
However long that may be.
In attendance, his business partner, Matthew Marr, a.k.a. known as Catman because of his plastic surgery, and his mother, Poodle, who was quoted as saying, "Does anyone object to this wedding?" And suddenly, in the middle of St. Patrick's Cathedral, we heard a
That was her only objection. I've had her muscled for the occasion.
Exactly.
You're right. There would be 4 people at that wedding because I wouldn't allow any of his family. I would have banned them.
Banned them.
I would have sent a decoy wedding. They would have gone somewhere else. So then I get power of attorney and we get that fixed.
So he got it, but then she said, "Well, he got a job at a resort.
He got a job at the resort, and here, but I should tell you, I should tell you, so you don't think less of him. I had a friend there, and his friend said, I'll hire him, but only if you'll pay his wages. So I've been paying him.
So she pays for his job. We don't know if that's in addition to the extra money she gives as well.
I think it is.
I think it is too.
So you guys,
Ryan. So here's what's fucked up about this even more. She's not telling him this because she doesn't want to emasculate him.
Self-esteem. Good for self-esteem. I need more of this person. I cannot. Because we're going to see them. Right? There's clips of them together, right? Yeah.
I can't wait for them to be together.
This is the bright spot of the season for me. Strangely enough, Julia and Brandon, I actually enjoyed Julia more than any of Brandon and Brandon's family, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
I really love Julia. I can't stand Andrew and Amira's storyline. I hate it. I'm glad we didn't have to deal with it because it just saddens me.
I feel sorry for Amira.
Yeah.
Y'all, for all we know, she's still detained in Mexico City right now.
And I will say, Rebecca and Ziad make me hopeful, but I think we're going to get a lot of stress with them. Just because
I think we're going to get fake drama with them.
Maybe.
I feel like they're not
maybe nothing's that interesting.
Y'all, he got a fucking HVAC certification and can get a job.
It's fine.
Like... Yeah.
Let's go ahead and talk about another couple that most of the time gives me nothing but hives, and that is Jovi and Yara.
This was
bleak.
This was bleak. This was sad. Yeah. It was just
so. Most of you have brought out, not most of you, but some of you have said that Yara reminds you of Stacey Keenan from My Two Dads, and she totally does.
She totally does.
I just wanted to bring that up because we haven't brought it up yet.
That's who it is.
Stacey Keenan.
It's like, what's her name? We finally realized it's from Game of Thrones.
Missandei.
Missandei, yeah.
Who's Amy, from Amy and Danny. So,
they get a white rug.
From Amazon.
Y'all, it's way too small for the room.
I thought so, too.
I used to do that, too. Mistake. You want, y'all... 2 things about a rug. I'm going to give you some advice.
It should fit almost your entire room.
And Poodle fought me on this, and then he did it, and he was like,
I agree with you. You were right.
A rug pad. Get a rug pad underneath your rug.
Yeah, because it's going to slide, especially in that kind of loft space they're in, that things are going to slide all around.
And a lot of people are like, oh, this rug feels nice. It's often the rug pad, not the rug.
Yeah. Now, I will say a lot of her taste is quite Olga-esque, like my cousin Olga.
Yes.
It's very white.
She wants...
white.
She wants things... but I guess, like, does she... I don't know what it looks like where she's from, but does she want it to look like... I know that when we saw... she's from the Ukraine, right?
Yeah.
Well, when we saw... what's her name?
Lana?
Lana, when you like we saw, the Ukraine is just older. It's not.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of new things there.
I think
so maybe that's why.
I think her taste is very luxe.
Yeah.
Like she likes things that look really expensive. Even though that rug wasn't expensive, it looked expensive.
Yeah.
And I think that's the most important thing for her.
She's so happy that Jovi's like, what else do you want? And she just kind of spews this litany, and I went, oh,
I want $1 million. I want the penthouse.
I want the $27 million
Kardashians
penthouse.
as friends. And I went, oh.
Oh, y'all.
Keep that to yourself, honey.
If Will Smith showed up as the genie in this moment, he'd say, girl, you crazy. Girl, you crazy.
So I want to talk about another huge point which threw me when she said, take off your shoes. This is a white rug. And he's like, what do you mean take off my shoes? Take off your shoes in the house. This is the thing for me. I know I made you do it. You weren't. I had to kind of make you do it.
You didn't have to make me do it.
But it wasn't normal for you to take your shoes off when you came in my house.
My grandma Hazel we'd have to take our shoes off in her house.
Yeah, but I make people do that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it's a European thing like they said. And there are parts of America where you don't take your shoes off in the house.
When we lived together as roommates, we didn't.
I always took my shoes off.
You never talked about wanting to take your shoes off. I would have supported that rule.
I made fun of you for keeping your shoes on.
I
just don't remember it.
No,
yeah.
I don't remember that.
But I could not say that because it wasn't exactly my place. You could
have brought that up. That wouldn't have bothered me at all.
I think I had bigger fish to fry.
So did I. Boy, the days that I made him clean out his music room.
But yeah, it
was like getting a kid. It was like giving a fat kid to give up his last piece of chocolate to torture him. It was hard.
That.
We're better for each other.
We are. So she basically tells him, "Sorry, New Orleans people, I do not like this city."
And she does say, people pee on the street, you wear your shoes. And Jovi says, nobody pees on the street here. And I wanted to say,
you're a liar. You've never...
I've peed on the street in New Orleans. Tell me you haven't.
It smells like piss.
Tell me you haven't, though.
I have.
Yeah, I know.
It's everyone who's ever been to New Orleans knew he was a liar.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, when he said that.
Yeah.
And just because he's never peed on the streets, which he had, no, he probably just waits till he gets home and pisses himself in his bed.
Wow, that was...
Well, come on, Jovi passes out every night.
He probably passes out a lot.
Yeah.
She does call it a nasty village.
I will say, she's not... I respect her way of communication. She's probably not the most political person in the world. She's probably not the most lovable at the beginning.
She's not the most lovable. She also is not.
Definitely from the Poodle Sky Academy.
She is. She also is. She's very self-involved.
Oh yeah.
Like
so is he though. So is he.
Yes. Yeah. I think. Oh, y'all.
They're kind of made for one another
in a
way.
Weird way. Although I think she's way better than him.
Oh, totally.
I think he's a piece of shit. You should know, anytime we dig at Yara, it's like, Yara is still like a 7, and Joey's a fucking 1.
He's the shittiest person on this season.
Yeah, he is.
Especially for the men.
He did look more handsome with some stubble.
I agree. His hair is
bounced out his freakish mouth.
Abominable. It's
not
all
great.
A little product would go a long way.
Yeah.
But he's such a shitty person on the inside. He's always demeaning her.
Always. Always.
Yeah. So, so they're going out, and she's trying to do a selfie. She's like, "Oh, I look so fucking fat." So she's always obsessed with her weight. Like
she looks beautiful. She looks fine.
She's gorgeous.
He gets her the new phone, and she's like, You're now the best boyfriend in the world.
Now, this is what's transactional, and I think that's kind of how he relates to her. That's what he can understand that.
Because he's transactional. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So she's talking about they're out to dinner and
they're going to have a romantic dinner because he's leaving the next day.
He's leaving and he's like, my mom is going to text you in a couple days, and she's like, okay, great. I'm not really looking to be friends with your mom. I want friends my age. And then he starts wanting to start talking about a family, and she said, do you think you're ready for kids? And
like with your schedule, 4 weeks off, 4 weeks on. And Jovi's like, well, my mom did that, and that was fine. My mom had 4 weeks. My dad did this. But he's forgetting that his mother's from the United States.
Where she can be taken care of by all of her relatives.
Her mother.
And,
and
Yara she has a support system.
Fucking no one out here.
So
she's all by herself.
This is not ideal for Yara to start a family right now.
It's interesting because earlier I'm
not just 4 weeks alone.
I'm not just saying this to like pat myself on the. Really, earlier when we were watching this, and I was like, why are they not? I think their sex is great, but I was kind of asking myself, why are they together? And they were always going at each other, and I thought there's something deeper about this, like this. And so it kind of got revealed this episode. But I even thought I'm glad that it came. I didn't expect all of her resentment and deep feelings to come up but we see it
and
play
I think
out.
We know why. And I want to just make a point here, you guys. A huge kind of bomb was dropped. On this episode that we had already heard that he left her in Europe, in Albania or something like that when she
didn't have a passport.
Yeah, and that's what we heard. We didn't know that was during the miscarriage.
She had a miscarriage
that she had. Now. Look, I want to.
She has to have an operation in Albania.
I want to take care of something and just talk about something that on the second episode where these two were introduced, we were kind of the way I was looking at all of this, and I'm like, this is really strange. They're talking about this kind of miscarriage, and they're all kind of glossing over it, and I usually watch the show talking to two friends who are both female, and we were saying, boy, so he basically kind of married her anyway after the miscarriage. He's like, well, I might as well. I'm already in too deep, and said something pretty awful that we kind of commented on. But the two female friends I was talking to at the time said, there was never a baby. That no one goes scuba diving like that. Because
they were showing the scuba diving pictures. Basically,
and the editing was happening at the same time.
She was pregnant, and
I said on the podcast that I didn't think there was a baby. And I will say that was wrong of me, and I should have never said that. It was wrong. It was way over my, way out of bounds for me to even say that and to even speculate that, especially on the podcast. But I get that. But I just want to say that was wrong of me to speculate, because that's not any of my business to speculate and to not believe a woman who said she's had a miscarriage.
Agreed. And I think the show manipulated us, though, into not as an excuse, but this was all over Reddit and Twitter. It was trending that people. But it wasn't just you.
I know, but I want to apologize.
And I know as a man, you should be more.
But I even though I saw it on Reddit and I saw it on Twitter, I want to apologize for saying it. And because I now believe from seeing her reaction, there's no doubt in my mind she had a miscarriage.
No doubt. And I think that,
I'm kind of sick for saying it. So I'm sick to my stomach for saying it.
Well, but I would feel sick too. And this is what we have to remember that, it's quote unquote real life, but it's also reality shows. For instance, it's like, the scene where Mike goes and talks to Natalie. Some people pointed out she's wearing a completely different outfit, and they edited it as it just happened. So I think that that he said about being pregnant, and they immediately show a picture of her scuba diving.
Right.
And that we had so many women listeners that thought that was a red flag.
I'm not going to explain myself or cast blame on any listeners who told me that.
No.
But when I said that, I had tons of people who said, yeah, you're right. There's no way. And I felt bad about it as soon as I said it.
You know what I think part of me feels bad about, because I thought about that too, is that I feel a little like they edited it that way and they played off our
Yeah.
American privilege of thinking that everybody from Ukraine or Russia is going to take advantage of somebody. They played off of that.
And I will say the first episode,
TLC played off of that. I mean.
the Yara got a really nasty edit.
She
as
did.
being a sugar baby who was.
She really came off as this.
And I don't see that. I don't say that
we don't-
anymore.
We don't see that anymore.
It's so because I was.
I actually think she wants a life in the United States, and I do think I don't know if she loves Jovi. I think she wants to love Jovi.
Yeah,
I don't know if she does.
I was talking.
I think she might have taken a class to at Poodle.
The Olga Pulskaya Institute for girls who want rich men marry them.
Yes.
I was talking to Allie from 90 Gay Slumber Party, and so because sometimes and she had said a similar thing, and I was talking about it, and we were both kind of commiserating about it. That we were sad.
She felt sick about it. Yeah.
Yep.
So
you know,
well,
I'm sorry I said it, and it's not something I want to like to. I'm not going to wade into that again.
Well, so here's the deal. The best thing in life is to take responsibility for your words and your actions, no matter what side you're on, and move on from it. It's the people that get stuck in their whatever it is that are really having problems in life.
And I acknowledge my privilege as a male to be able to even say anything, because I will never experience anything like that.
But again,
especially as a gay guy.
We got to remember, fucking Matt Sharp, they edit this with American privilege.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as like I felt a little sick when I found out Ari fought so much not to get in the car and drive, and then they had a car accident on the way there, and TLC never showed it.
Yeah.
That was gross. So anyway, y'all, you always have to remember that, yes, we're responsible for our own thoughts and whatever we say, but also we're being manipulated here.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But basically, that's kind of all I wanted to say there.
It was gut-wrenching, though, to see her cry.
Yeah, it was really,
and
I feel really,
this is a deeper
I feel
thing.
for her.
This is a deeper thing that I was like, what is it? It's that it's not about her not feeling comfortable in New Orleans. It is that at the base of it, she does not trust him because she thinks, whether he meant to or not,
he left her
to have an operation when she was miscarrying their baby.
Yeah, and because he needed to go work.
I'm telling you now, Jovi is not the person that's gonna. The thing that Jovi does that's so terrible.
He never needs to be a father ever.
Well, when Yara says, Jovi, this is upsetting, he never, even in that moment, he should have stopped and said, "Man,
yeah,
I bet that was horrible for you. I can't imagine what you were going through."
I don't think he has that chip in him.
No, it's just like, wait, no, you don't understand. Nothing can be his fault. That's what
he said. He said it's not my fault. He said
that's the difference of what you just did of saying, I regret that I said something.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I apologize. That to me is a true human, where Jovi will never do that. That's an adult.
Well,
and he will never do that.
And he's been enabled to a fault to think he's a son and he's a man, and men have that privilege in Southern culture. Wow. It's one of the reasons he's the shittiest person on the season, you guys.
And he's
Definitely.
not that good in bed.
No, and she said something in her Instagram
What's the
on
reason?
Like having a big dick. If anything, it's girthy. It is not big.
Wait. Well, hold on. Wait.
Yes, there was
Wait. Stop the press. Who is that?
Yara,
Vicky Vale. I did not know this.
Yara said someone did an AMA. Yara did an AMA, and they asked her, "Does Jovi have a big eggplant?" And she's like, "Yes." Why do you think I flew from Russia? She's in her comedy hour. She's doing the Yaki Smirnoff comedy hour. But y'all, it's not big. It may be girthy, but that's all it is.
I don't buy it.
Yeah,
been wrong before though.
Maybe she has slender walls.
Boy, I remember once this little, very short guy I got with. Oh man, boy, he pulled it down, and I went, "That's not coming near me."
Yeah,
it sometimes happens.
Basically, later on, he's like, "Sorry, what can I tell you? You know, I got to go." And boy, he really does lack a lot of empathy.
It really is there. And You know what? I bet that Jovi does have feelings about losing his own baby,
Oh, totally.
but he'll never be able to go there or experience that.
Yeah.
Because for a lot of different reasons.
Yeah.
But I think that's where I think if he just validated her hurt and met her and tried to meet her where that hurt is with his own vulnerability, so much of this relationship would be healed.
I agree with that, but I think straight men have to be educated to do that. Society will not teach you to validate a woman's emotions. You have to. It's
getting better. Mothers raising young boys
Right.
and young girls right now, or young people, are the way they're teaching
but I'm
kindness
saying
and vulnerability.
culture will not teach you.
Yeah.
Your
This is
parents
also
have to teach you.
This is also in the Deep South.
Yes. And it's still very patriarchal, you guys.
And we don't know what's happened or what's with his dad.
I don't know.
Because a lot of sons learn their emotional
From their
language
fathers.
from the same-sex parent.
Fathers and sons.
So,
from
Anyway.
Working. Fathers and Sons. Do you know the song?
we cut it when I did it. It was a girls' camp. We're not going to do fathers and sons. It was all girls' cast. No.
Let's talk about I'm done with them.
And in fact,
unless you-
I just want to say the last thing Joey says is, "I'm sorry. I shouldn't have brought this up." You guys,
he's so
if
awful.
someone's upset and
He's
you say,
so
"I'm
awful.
sorry, I shouldn't have brought this up." Now you could say, "I'm sorry I brought this up and that it's so painful for
Yeah.
you." But basically he just said, "I don't want to talk about this."
And
Anyway,
his underwater robot who looks like Rosie from the Jetsons says, "You are a jerk.
Yerk.
I
Yerk.
need to go carry the oil from the other module.
Yes.
You're an asshole."
Can we talk about two people we like
Rebecca.
so much? I love them so much. So much.
You said this earlier, and I think you're exactly right. This is going to be a season of unnecessary created drama for them.
I'm telling you, Rebecca and Zied have their shit together.
Yeah. So,
Y'all,
she-
Rebecca manages a chicken place. She knows what to do.
So
that's hard.
Rebecca, Zied hasn't seen Rebecca in a year, and I wrote down, what the fuck is she doing using a shopping cart moving into this loft?
I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening.
I was like, did you just find that outside and you just piled your shit in it?
This is the middle of COVID. You just can't touch a random shopping cart.
I don't know. I was very confused. And I've got to say, what do you think about loft spaces like this one? I want to hear your opinions.
I want to clarify for people that a lot of people still don't watch the show. They just listen to us.
Yeah.
So Rebecca is not going to move in with her daughter and her daughter.
I should say that. Yeah, right.
Good move, Rebecca.
Smart.
Good. She's moving into this loft space that she
Kind of like open floor plan loft space. Probably like a former bank. A lot of them are.
I think it's fine to live in a loft. I think they're pretty. I think there would be a cool. I don't want to live like downtown, but some of those buildings, like in the arts district, that are only like 3 or 4 stories high, not the super high. Those like lofts. I think those will be cool to live in. I just don't want to have to go downtown and live.
Yeah, I just find them so cold. I find the marble and the high ceilings cold. I don't know, and the kind of one room aspect of it.
I
think I've been in a lot of lofts downtown. Let's just say visiting friends.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe it felt cold because you couldn't say your name or hi. They opened the little password, please.
No, I think
Pickle.
The issue is
I like high ceilings. Those actually.
I you know what, I shouldn't have said high ceilings. That's not what bothers me as much. It's the kind of organization of space and how you have to, in a loft space, you have to work really hard at creating coziness.
You know why? Probably you. Sorry, my notes fell off. I had to put them on my phone. You know why? Probably you get intimidated by loft space, which is
I'm not intimidated by them. I don't
but a
like
little
them.
bit too is that Poodle and I are not decorators. We are
No, I'm not.
Like our houses look cute, but we do not have that gay decorating gene. So I do agree with you that I like the openness and the high ceilings and all. And sometimes lofts have really cool lighting. I would have to have somebody decorate it.
You have to work hard at it.
I could not do it. If I lived, it would be like a cold one-room echo chamber and feel like a cave.
Yeah,
I would need someone to decorate. I love a brick wall.
You have to work hard. You have to set off rooms. Y'all come at us with your loft spaces that you have done impeccably.
Yes,
because I want to see that.
I'm gonna. My goal.
I think they are hard. I think they're very difficult to make feel homey.
The ones that look homey are very expensive.
I agree with that.
But the big windows and all that, there's something I do love that. I love that.
I agree. But it in a way it feels like an artist studio, and that's not where you live.
No, I get that. I get that. Yeah. But there's also something cool that it's a space. The possibilities are endless. You can
totally
go anywhere.
agree, and I kind of
you could set up your sling anywhere in a house in a loft.
And part of me loves the idea of a loft space because I love the kind of endless possibility idea. But like, it's very intimidating for me.
No, it would be for me too to decorate. Yeah.
Because I'm in a 1910 kind of craftsman-ish. What do you call this?
This was
Pueblo.
I don't know because I'm in the same type. But I don't know what our apartment.
Yeah,
what the style's called. It's just like stucco. It's not art.
You're not.
We don't know.
You're not selling it.
Again, we don't have that gauging, y'all. Now.
Yeah.
This is what I mean by there's not a lot of drama in this couple. The big drama is Rebecca's lived in this loft before, in this building. Not
with
this
her
loft, but this building.
Ex.
With her ex from Morocco.
Yes, but she's not living in the same apartment. So who the
we don't
fuck
think so.
cares?
But she's worried about what Zied's going to say. Because she said they haven't really talked about her ex and he doesn't like it.
Then don't tell him. It is so not a big deal.
I'm telling you, there's nothing. They've got their shit together.
Yeah. So he is coming tomorrow, you guys. And the loft space, she's got like her bedroom, and of course the mattress is on the floor, and of course the blanket has his face on it. So does like the cup next to things. This is Rebecca's failing, you guys. I don't know if she thinks it's cute. It just comes off as creepy to almost everyone else.
A little. Yeah.
And I think I wrote down.
Rebecca, just go to bed that afternoon and get a comforter.
I know. I think I said on Facebook or on Instagram today, I'm surprised Bitch doesn't have his entire face tattooed between her boobs.
Maybe. So much. Much boobs. I always there. Y'all, because Zied is a boob man.
He is.
Oh, for sure.
So in Tunisia,
I just want to say there's this touching thing where Rebecca is sitting on the bed and like it's hitting her that this is actually happening. She gets emotional and starts to cry. And Poodle screamed out, "Oh, she loves him."
I did. Y'all, I'm such a fucking bitch when it comes to emotions. I know I may not seem like it. I get moved very easily. My emotions are kind of all on the surface anyway. Good or bad, vengeful or are vulnerable. They're all right there.
I've known that to be true.
And yours are all tamped down very deep.
Don't know what you mean. Don't know what you mean.
And that seems like it would be the opposite, but it's actually not true. It's
That's fair.
I'm completely the vulnerable mushy one. And you're the stone cold bitch. Yeah.
Bitch.
It's totally true.
So Zied is basically there's not really a plot that much happens except for he's just packing in Tunisia. We see his mom, we see his dad, we see his sister.
His mom's got these Warby Parkers on. It's so cute.
His parents, again, we said this actually in their season of his parents are some of the most normal parents.
Right.
And they're just normal parents that are sad their son's
Even
leaving.
his sister's passive aggressive, but she's kind of normal.
She's normal passive aggressive.
comparatively.
Yeah, she's just like your Aunt Connie. She's lovable.
Ziad's friends who takes him to the airport
Woo!
are hot.
I turned to Pooh and I said, "Are Tunisian men all hot?"
This would be a great Tim Tales scene.
Oh,
with
yeah.
just me
Oh,
and these
yeah.
guys.
Oh yeah,
Just not a lot of talking. Just get to the fucking.
yeah. Tiptoe through, stick it in. So they're at the airport, yeah, and they all say
You know what
goodbye.
Tim Tales is? You can Google it, but don't do it at work.
They should give us a fee at this point. What? Oh, VM. How do you say sister?
I believe.
She said, I told him it's not okay that he's leaving. I don't like it, but it's his business.
Yeah.
And he is.
Thank you. What a wonderful set of parents.
Really. They
Yeah.
seem like such a good. And Zia says, I love my family so much.
So much.
They mean everything in my life. I am so nervous.
Oh, him in that
He looks
haircut.
good, though, getting
I'm
on that
like
plane.
touching myself looking at
Y'all,
him.
he got his hair fixed. He's got his
Got
little
his hair
glasses.
did. Got his he's got his what's his name? The serial killer from Milwaukee.
Okay. Son of Sam?
No, Jeffrey Dahmer. He's got his Jeffrey Dahmer glasses.
No, I don't know about
but
that.
in a trendy way.
No, I think he looks nice. I think he looks handsome. I do remember I lived with my friend. This is when I lived in Texas, and I lived with our friend Karen, and she was watching like a murder thing, but
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was. I just came home. And I was walking to the kitchen. I grabbed a Dr.
love this
Pepper,
story.
and I was walking back, and there was a guy on the TV, and I said, "Ooh, that guy's hot. I'd fuck him." And Karen looked at me. She went, "That's Jeffrey Dahmer." And I went, "I'll make good choices."
Jeffrey Dahmer in certain
A lot of those
pics,
serial killers were good looking.
Ted Bundy was gorgeous.
Because that was part of the thing. They lured
We're
you
getting
in.
into a weird area.
And that's not, you know what? If you want to listen to murder, listen to A Date with Dateline.
or half the internet.
Or half the internet,
Or
yeah.
half the podcasts that are out there.
Y'all should listen to A Date with Dateline. They're good.
They're wonderful.
Yes. So, anyway, y'all. Is that the show?
Yes, that's the show.
That's the show. Y'all, we don't have any sissy spotlights this week. We're still doing that.
Y'all, but we're gonna give you
we're
we're gonna give you a topic. Talk amongst yourselves.
Talk about the Roman Catholic Church is neither Roman nor Catholic. Discuss.
We're not. That's not what we're gonna ask. We're gonna say, what's the new year about for you?
What's the new year about for you?
What resolution do you have? What was your shittiest New Year's? Tell us about what you want in this next year.
So if you're in the Patreon at the top tier, you have that number. We'll send that out again and give us a call and leave a voicemail.
we want to hear you go off.
And you know what? If you call us and say, I don't give a fuck about the new year. I want to talk about my husband eating Doritos in bed. That's fine too.
Pop off.
That pop off.
Pop
Do
off.
that.
Pop off, hoes.
Do that, ho.
So we want to hear from you, and if you we'll send that number out again. Anything New Year related, whether it's like your best New Year's, what you want for the New Year's, what you're tired of hearing people talk about for the New Year's,
Whatever.
what you want us to do in the New Year's. We may or may not do it. Anyway,
you can tell us if you want. We're going to do what we want.
exactly.
That's that root.
What we want.
What we
It's
want.
what I want.
What I want.
We're going to do what I want.
And we're not going to recap it, but we should just do a little, just 2-second final thoughts because everybody's asking us. What did you think of the premiere of Drag Race? Because we are reality gays. We can talk about it.
I hated the do format. Hated it.
I didn't care. I like
Hated it.
I like some of the queens.
Hated it.
Because the queens, a lot of the queens aren't polished this season, and I like that. It reminds me of earlier seasons.
Yeah, but
the
I
format
just-
was slow.
I just can't.
It was slow.
I know what you're saying, but it's hard to have a queen like Aquaria and then go back to one who was wearing that white blazer. I just can't.
I kind of respect
she
that.
needs help.
It's kind of like Drag Race Quarantine Edition.
She was wearing a white blazer and white hot pants that you could have bought at $5.99 half fashion.
They just picked everybody up from the 99-cent store there. They're like, you want to be a contestant? You want to be a contestant? Here's the deal, though.
And I thought the lip sync winners were arbitrary. I really did.
I thought too. It didn't make sense. The people that actually won the lip sync didn't, for the most part.
That's a problem.
I do think it'll get better because it's Drag Race. I think it's going to get. They try to do some. I respect that they try to do something new. Although you will say Project Runway does the same thing every season, and you know what? Project Runway is still good. I
feel like I felt desperation here. Especially, and I will say, I know one queen personally, and the fact that she lost a lip sync makes no sense at all.
Oh God!
And I don't
this
know
is why
her.
We can't, why you can't do Drag Race because she name drops the entire episode.
I don't know her because I fucked her. I know her because we fucked the same people.
It's either or with Poodle. It's either or.
We moved in the same circles, as it were.
They fucked in the same circles, but not in a circle church.
Not in a circle.
But a metaphor.
Not a daisy chain.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Carl, what's a daisy chain? Call the florist. Will you ask him? Shooter, go get my address book.
Go call Paul the florist.
Go call Paul the florist.
I think that's the show.
That is the show. Y'all. That is our first kind of 2 episodes of Reality Gaze.
This is. I'm excited.
Well, just to get to talk about Drag Race, I don't feel like we have to talk just about 90 Day. We can
talk about any reality shows.
Anything.
We don't do as well with scripted TV, I've got to say. Even though we did Holiday, but who knows? Maybe it'll be because scripted TV is also reality in a way.
I do want to tell some of you keep coming at us and you're like, I'm so excited for Bitchcraft to come back. Our podcast about Sabrina.
Suck it.
Y'all.
It was so bad last season, y'all. We were demoralized.
Bitchcraft is fun while it happened. And as I said, if there's a gay kiss between Gavin Leatherwood and Luke Cook, I'd watch it. Guess what? It didn't happen. So Sabrina disappointed us. We're not going to cover it. I'm sorry.
I may watch the season, and I might talk about it on social media.
I'm not. But follow Poodle at Jake It or Fake It. You can follow me at the Matt Marr.
Yeah.
And you can follow us on Twitter at Reality Gaze Pod.
Reality Gaze Pod on Twitter and Reality Gaze Podcast on Instagram.
On Instagram. And you can go to the website with the merch store and everything at realitygazepodcast.com. Little tip for you. If you go to realitygaze.com,
it's porn.
It's gay porn. So y'all, don't go to that website.
Y'all,
it's old gay porn, too.
Take a moment to really just picture the crushing irony of that.
I'm like, Poodle, we're going to get realitygaze.com. Okay.
We were foiled by gay porn.
Something
we love more than anything in the world.
It's true. I just heard Poodle yell, no!
What an existential crisis.
What, boy?
How can I be mad at gay porn?
Y'all, if you don't think God is a little gay and has a fucking sense of humor, then you're wrong.
God is a woman who has it out for us.
Oh, for sure. And it's a funny, funny bitch.
Yeah.
That's God. So, y'all, that's the show. We appreciate you very much. Again, hey, with the new name change.
We're going to get some confusion in the marketplace.
With the new art, one of the best things, if you've never done this before, we implore you, if you could leave a 5-star review, and even if you don't know what to write, just write.
Keep going, Queens. And honestly,
but it helps us. If you write something, it really helps the Apple Podcast reviews.
I promise you, we've got close to almost 3,000 reviews now, and if we had...
We're up just over 3,000 now.
If you guys... If we had even 10% more of our listeners leave
it would kind of
review,
bump us up again and help us be seen in the charts and help us be discovered and just help grow the show, which is what we want to do. So that's kind of all we can do right now
because we're changing our name and we're a little afraid we're going to get swept under the rug.
Yeah, we worry about that. So we because we're really just like, if Poodle and I don't get the chance to do live shows and go out and meet y'all, I'm going to die a sad man.
I'll be honest.
That's all I want to do.
That has been keeping me going the entire time. Because y'all, we are show ponies who need to perform for you.
It really is. I cannot wait to just sing our theme song and watch people's faces just and make them happy. That's all I want to
Yep.
do. And then cut to 2 a.m. Poodle, where are you? And I have to pull Jake
I'm
out
fucking somebody's husband who is at the
Yeah.
show. Y'all don't bring your husbands to the show.
Carl! Carl, you in the bathroom? Carl!
Leave your husbands at home.
Poodle will fuck your Carl. Anyway, y'all. Put that on some merch. Poodle will fuck
If you
a
go
Carl.
to a meet and greet, watch your husband because I'm going to be handsy with him.
Yeah, yeah.
No.
Poodle, it's a meat, M-A-A-T, M-E-A-T meat. Anyway, y'all, that's the show. Thanks again. We call these people lonely hearts, Poodle, because aren't we all just lonely hearts looking for love and all the wrong, very lost, long places?
Oh, God. Yeah, we are. And hold on. Oh, my God.
Oh,
No, we did not ask.
No. Y'all. Dee Dee Rivette's back with another ad.
You know, I'm glad I told you about this at the very end. Thank you for letting me. I'm still staying a little while. I was going to Hollywood Walk of Fame this evening.
Okay.
I'm an Uber driver whose name was Ahmed.
Okay.
He's definitely an Arab.
There's nothing wrong with that, Dee Dee.
You didn't smell him. It was a problem.
All right.
So, and I just need to say, we got 2 for 1 at Over
No,
the
this
Fence.
is not for your ad. No.
I'll be 10 seconds. At Over the Fence, we got 2 for 1 collectible Jesus Bible verse mugs.
Jesus, what is a Jesus Bible verse mug?
It's like when Jesus said Jesus wept. And that's
Like you put coffee in it and it heats up and you see Jesus
and
crying?
you see Jesus' face.
And he's crying?
Are you asking questions about my Lord and Savior?
No, about your merch.
Can I tell you about the gospel of Jesus Christ?
You guys, if you want to talk to us later about something besides the gospel of Jesus Christ,
I'm gonna go away. It's CD Rivette here. I'll see you at Over the Fence thing. You come and meet me there. Bye bye.
call us.